All right. Here's my thought on what we've got here. We know that AEW started out with a steady audience of what, about 800,000. They got their biggest audience the first week. But for a couple of years, it was 1 million or a little more if they hotshot some kind of major show on television, and 750 so at the worst, when that's the base audience for the tomfoolery amongst the buckaroos in their ilk. And then there's about 100 or 150,000 floaters that will start the program, but as we've seen from the ratings over weeks and weeks, not necessarily finish it. And then there was a couple 100,000 that CM Punk brought by himself from either the other companies, the WWE's fans, or the disaffected fans that don't watch the WWE anymore since Punk's not there. Who knows? And those are about the quantities, and you can kind of tell by where they are and what the venue is. And this was the pay-per-view, highest prices, major metropolitan city, easy to fly into. So these are the dedicated and faithful, and they're going to go fuck CM Punk because they like seeing that their little friends, their little buddies from Twitch or whatever are back in control. Now, next week in Chicago, it may be a different story because now they'd be going into enemy territory. And I bet you that many of those people probably in Chicago had tickets if they were on sale before this whole thing happened. So we'll see what the reaction is, but you can kind of see the quantities now. They got one guy that could bring a sizable segment of the WWE's audience or ex-audience to their company, but he got run off by the EVPs and their base that they had that hasn't grown in 3 years. And then there's a bunch of people flipping back and forth going, what the fuck's going on? But it's kind of settling down, quantifying itself at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's what's left. And I kept thinking that, like, the people that are watching this now are the people that were on the side of the elite through the whole thing. So you're going to get a lot of bias. I thought it was so ironic to me. Like you said, there was the fuck CM Punk chant. And I'm thinking all these years of fans hijacking shows by chanting CM Punk in support of CM Punk over and over and over again.
Yeah.
If there was any time that you would have loved to see it, and where it would have actually been entertaining, it would have been during this match. But instead, they're chanting "fuck CM Punk," which is wild to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. Is it the fickleness of the fans? Is it the encouragement of the Bucks, which was apparently happening? Is it the fact that
they were egging it on in the building?
I mean, I do think that Punk, and I know not everybody agrees with me on this, but I think that Punk damaged a lot of goodwill, even with people who did support him. Because here's the thing. I agree with a lot of the points that he was making and the frustration. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff going on that would piss somebody off behind the scenes. But I'm not so sure that airing it out in that press scrum in front of everybody with the boss sitting right next to you was the best way to do it. And I think there's some people that even agree and sympathize with him that were like kind of turned off by what he did.
I don't know, though. I've been in that position.
Not you.
Well, I've been in that position where you just have all you can stand of a fucking insufferable douchebag. But nevertheless, speaking of insufferable douchebags, let's move on to this match.